Everybody knows Western Union. That name's so common.
I know them.
You do, yes. And you're not even from the West.
I am from the West. I'm a white person.
All right. Well, Western Union, they're not just a way to send money to Mexico anymore, like Ernie knows about. Go to our website, and you can do all kinds of stuff. You can send money to family and friends in 135
On our
countries.
website?
On our website, if you go through Western Union, you can send money like Ernie. You can get the rest of your family probably through the tunnels. All you got to do is send the money through Western Union, 135 different countries. If you probably have people in Honduras, El Salvador, places like that. Put money on prepaid cards. You can do that. Jason, you can put money on prepaid cards so you can live. You do that. You can pay bills online. Oh, you don't have bills. Yeah, well, and you can also pay domestic or foreign mortgages, auto, credit cards, insurance, utility, government, and other types of bill payments. Go to Western Union. Send funds any time of day or night to almost anywhere in the world, 135 currencies. All you got to do is go to JimandEddieTalkShit.com. They also have tons of new business solutions. Go there, click on the banner on our website, JimandEddieTalkShit.com, and get signed up. That's Western Union.
Western Union, they put the fun in funds.
Hey, everybody, this is Eddie from Talkin Shit. Before we start this, the brand new, real episode, not a best of, an episode with a real guest, with we're at half mast right now. Jim's not here, so bald guys that like football and stabbing women, disconnect right now. Delete. But for those of you that enjoy the show, we got a great guest. We've got Todd Glass here tonight. Also, buy your tickets now if you're in Wilmington, North Carolina. If you're a shithead and you live anywhere around there, you want to see Todd Glass, one of the funniest live acts I've ever seen in my life. Hey, as always, though, go to our website. Our new website is working. I know you're all bitching about how it looks. Like you fucking care. It's not about what it looks like. It's about what it does. You can get all the newest episodes. You can get the old episodes, the ones when you go, oh, we can't get fucking number 1 to 51. You can get them. Just go on our website, and they're available. Go to the store. There they are, T-shirts, everything. There's a new T-shirt of Jason available. And you can also still donate. The packages are there if you want to buy T-shirts, posters, DVDs. We had a $1,000 donor, Nick Bradley. Nick I met in Australia. I'll get to that. I ran into Mike White. We'll get to all this when we start the show.
You know these names by heart?
Yeah, let's just start the show.
Two douchebags on a couch. One's an asshole, one's a grouch. And relentless, all their mouths. Jim and Eddie. Talk shit. Jim and Eddie.
Hey everybody, welcome to Talking Shit. I'm Eddie. Jim's not here. I'm sitting here with Todd Glass in the rape cottage, on the rape couch, with the unrapeable, unsexable Jason Hour. And how are you, Jason?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good to see you. Good to see. Not really. Are you wearing a Jim Jeffries t-shirt?
No, this is a Fine Southern Gentleman t-shirt.
Okay. How do you know Fine Southern Gentleman?
They make our merchandise.
We're so good at doing that, isn't it? We just drop it in.
Always a fan of the drop in.
Jason, they make Jason Hour t-shirts. And how many have you sold so far?
40 or something.
You've sold 40 t-shirts.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Over the last, it's been a year and a half. That's not a lot.
I don't care. I don't believe you've sold 40 t-shirts. If you've bought a Jason Hour t-shirt, I want you to send us a message at jimandeddie@yahoo.com. Also, our fans want us to make you lose all your Twitter fans.
That's fine.
Because they said you're about to hit 3,000.
Well, I was really trashed the other night, and I just I wanted to get 15 to get to that 3,000.
Oh, so you wrote.
It's like a game. It's like a number. It's like playing Smallville or something.
Well, here's a more fun game. Let's see if we can take them down to 15.
That's nice.
Oh, God, why does that crush me? Even though it's not me, I'm like, no, don't do that to the guy. I shouldn't say anything. Do what you want.
We'll get them back.
Oh, you'll get them back?
Yeah, they'll come back.
Oh, that would be fun to see how quickly that could.
That's mean. Eddie, you're
he's evil.
With me, it's it's an ant and a magnifying glass in the sun.
What I giveth, I can taketh away. So if you're following at Jason Hour on Twitter, don't block him. Just delete him, and then we'll probably bring him back maybe a week or. Look, he's so upset.
Such a dick.
I'm a dick. Jim told the fans to say that I had AIDS.
Yep.
Jim told all our fans to Google Eddie Ift has AIDS, and now it shows up in the cache #1. Like everywhere.
Still?
Oh, the first thing on
Yeah,
the,
when you search Eddie Ift, it says Eddie Ift has AIDS.
It's still like that?
Yep. Yeah, that's not going away.
Jesus.
Now, what's
Yeah.
being set up here?
When this is our, we don't know what
Hello.
she does. She's setting up lights.
You're not
for-
going to turn any lights on, though. I'm light sensitive.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm technically light sensitive, but I always say everything's too bright.
That's Lalit, who we've got a question for.
Hello.
Lalit does our filming and camera. Lalit on Neil Brennan's podcast. He was talking about having sex with an Armenian girl, and he said that she liked to be burned with cigarettes.
He wasn't talking about me.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Wasn't you?
No, wasn't me.
All the fans wrote in, and
You
they
know
were
what?
like,
At
"Sounds like Lalit."
At what point, like, people can be into some funky stuff and it's fine, but at one point do you go, I don't know. I'm not guessing I would imagine that's the point.
Yeah.
When you like being burnt with cigarettes.
Did he say he actually did that to the girl? Like he burned her with cigarettes?
I don't think he burned her because we would check you for scars.
Yeah, that would be evident.
Not if it was in places you're not showing us.
Yes.
Well, I guess he got me there.
Yeah. What if it was inside your rectal cavity?
Just to
No,
be
I haven't
safe.
done that.
She
Yeah,
says,
just-
only do it there because no one will check there.
No one goes in there.
Well, don't say
But
no,
some
don't say
penises.
no one.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't you? You sure?
No, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm going to contact Neil.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Do it.
Positive?
Yeah.
It sounds like something you'd be into.
I mean, I don't know if I don't think I ever said that to him. Like we've talked about sex and stuff.
Did you talk about getting burnt with cigarettes?
No.
What's-
That's not me.
I got a question for you.
Want to meet that
I
girl
don't like to
though.
get burned by cigarettes.
Do you? I don't think that girls are any less. I think it's societal, not like, what do you call it? It's not in their fiber, their DNA. I think it's taught society. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a
cultural.
learned.
Cultural.
It's a learned behavior.
Yeah.
That I think girls are just. Look, let's put it this way: if guys are more horny, it's not the big gap everybody thinks it is my opinion. I think it's just it's.
Thank you.
They're taught it. They're taught to be more embarrassed about it and not
there's more
admit it.
shame.
There's more shame.
Oh, I
But if
completely-
if every girl and every guy was on a magical potion and they were to just be who they were and talk about it the next day, because I know this girl that I used to know. I won't say her name, but well, her name's Nikki. But anyway, she would hook up and talk about it, and I always thought that was so fucking cool. There's no shame in hooking up, and and then when everyone else, the stories would always be we'd leave a bunch of people, and there'd be one girl in a hot tub with a guy, and we'd be leaving, and the next day, what happened? Oh, nothing. We ended up leaving, and she'd be like, I fooled around. I was horny. Another girl. I'm like, good for fucking you.
Yeah,
Don't be ashamed of it.
I always like that slut too.
Right? But I know you're being comedic, but I think that's the fear that they get that.
Well,
like,
because there is a lot of backlash from that.
No, but there's
yeah,
not-
guys go there.
You
though.
get a lot more attention.
You do.
Yeah.
It's like temporary attention.
I remember the first slutty girl in 7th grade. The girl got fingered, and she got fingered in 7th grade. And every guy, like, we didn't know who she was. And the next day, she could have been like junior high president. Like, we were like, where is she? Who is she? We were all cutting classes to go look in the window at this girl.
well, listen to this. I know a girl from 7th grade. Her name was. I don't want to say her name. What are the odds? Lisa, I know her last name. I'm not going to say it because just on a 1% chance it would be so embarrassing. Lisa Deemer. And she used to take her foot. I was in like a resource room.
I like where this is
So
going.
she would take her foot, and I was in a cubby hole, and then she was in the cubby hole across the way, but there were like gaps in between it, and jam it into my crotch. And I would, of course, get a boner at that age.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the first girl that I knew that got sexually active. And I guess if you know a girl that did it, my guess is it's probably normal. That girls do stuff like that, and it's normal at the 7th grade. I get it. But I knew a girl in 5th grade that
I've
was
heard- I've heard Dr. Drew talk about these people, and Dr. Drew says they were molested. That when
Oh,
they're
really?
very sexually active at a young age, that that something happened to them, that they
Probably not 7th grade, but you're talking about like
No,
like,
7th grade she probably was too.
Oh, really? Oh, it's not so.
Still a celebrity. But and going back to your thing, I do respect the women that go out and talk about their slutty behavior. I respect it. I think that's great.
But would
And
you date her?
Absolutely. I did for 2.5 years.
Oh, sure. You did. You did date a stripper.
Yes. And I kind of like respect that openness, but In saying that, I believe that men are way hornier than women, and there's just a prime example is, when is the last time you saw a male strip club?
What do you mean, like a male?
Like male dancers?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't even been to one.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, hold on. Now, not that I have to be right on this, but if my theory is right, it's society. It's taught in
because
society.
culturally.
Well, then that doesn't. I'm talking about if they were born
Now-
and they weren't. They won't go maybe because
Now-
they can't admit it.
You're out of your mind. Look at it, because we're animals, and look at animals. When's the last time you saw the lioness walking into like finding the lion and doing reverse cowgirl on him in the middle of the Serengeti? No, it's rape every time.
Well-
That's all it is.
I'm not saying that there's not a. By the way, it's just it's not. I'm not solid on my facts. I'm just saying it's not as
Dr.
black
Todd
and
Glass
white as
here.
you think.
Yeah.
But back to can I? So I don't forget this. Can I remember before we went on the podcast? Jason was telling us a story about we were saying about people that make up stories and then they won't admit that they're fake. But
Jim says it best. He goes, if there wasn't Google, Jason would be a genius.
because I know people that do that, and I think it's sort of, now I'm not talking about you, Jason, because I don't know you that well, but I think it's a little bit of an illness. I'll tell you when I started realizing it. Have I ever done it? Yes, I've done it. You hear something, you don't do any fact checking, you repeat it. But the one that I learned from, well, first of all, when urban legends get spread around and you ask people, I think there's two types. Someone that's spreading a rumor and they genuinely don't know. They just didn't do any fact checking, but they're not lying. They just didn't do fact
You're
checking.
talking about my mom. Go on.
There's somebody else that they know that when you put them up on it, you go, did you YouTube it or did you Google it or anything? They go, yeah, and they fucking know they're lying. They just have nothing to talk about, so they spread bullshit. It's one thing if you ask them, did you Google it, and they go, actually I didn't, and then they go to a computer and they're interested to find out the facts. They're not.
No, that's not him. What he does is he heard something somewhere, then he takes it in his head. It all changes like the telephone game in his head. Then he recapitulates it to somebody else, and then they give him some more information, and then he adds to it, and it just keeps growing. This thing that fundamentally started wrong keeps getting more and more wrong as it grows, and then he tells it.
That's the birth of civilization right there.
This guy's, he's smart, right?
Don't say that.
Oh.
What is wrong with
well,
you,
You're
Todd?
encouraging him, Todd.
If you don't acknowledge it, then I'd be the fool. He knows that I'm smart because I know he's smart, and he's looking at me going, this guy fucking gets it.
It's just because you're both high.
No, I'm not. Well, what he just said was pretty good. Like, I didn't even know what he meant, but I thought it made sense.
He used to say these things.
He said that's the birth of civilization. Civilization.
Yes.
Tell you the truth, I don't know what he meant, but I think that makes fucking sense. He took it and wrapped it all together like
Todd, I have 7,000 of them. They're called Jasonisms.
Oh,
he
really?
says them all the time, and then you find out you'll read them in a book somewhere.
The Bible.
Yeah, the Bible. He was in a cult for a while, so he was in a right-wing Christian
Proverbs is a good
evangelical.
book.
Yes, and he has all, like, he can quote the Bible. I used to write down everything he used to say and call them Jasonisms, and I'd Twitter them. And he said stuff like, he looked at me one day after we started the podcast, and he goes, Frankenstein killed his master. But my favorite one, here's a good one. There's going to be a reconfiguration of society, and people like me are going to rise up and gain control.
I saw that show Jericho recently. Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
It's not bad.
He might be right, though. I mean, look, whoever's in control now is doing a great job.
My absolute favorite that he ever said to me was, we did a show at the Nokia Theater one night, and I had a really good set, and I was really happy, and I walked off stage. I'm at the bar, and Jason walks up to me, and he goes, everyone's delusional until they're successful. And I went, wow, that's kind of insightful, Jason. And he goes, I could be your Darth Vader.
And is he high when he comes up with these things?
99% of the time.
God.
But for our listeners that don't know Todd Glass, if you haven't heard the Todd Glass podcast, which I'm starting to realize that people that listen to podcasts listen to every podcast. Like, we all share the same.
Which I think it's good. You know what I think it means they like? You would think like, hello. You would think with podcasts, like what would, let's say, mine have in common with yours or Jimmy Pardo's? I think they like hearing something that's just real.
Yeah.
It's unedited. So there is a running, I'm not, I know what you mean. I think there is a running sort of thing that they all have in common. Not every podcast, but you're right. There are people that don't like certain podcasts, but I notice what you notice, people that I talk to after the shows, they like.
Yeah, they'll be like, I listen to Dave Anthony's podcast, and I listen to, and I'm amazed. I'm listening to the Sklar Brothers, and I listen to you, and I'm like, how much time do you have on
Well,
your
you know what's
hands?
funny? I totally defend, even before I did a podcast, which I'm so glad that I did it because it gives it more validity. If you defend it now, you're just defending it because you have one. But way before I had a podcast, when people would shit on them, I would go, I think you're on the wrong side of, I've said this a million times, but I said, I think you'd be the same guy. Remember when camera equipment became affordable and a lot of people were shooting short films? I think you'd be the guy that went, oh, what are you going to do? Shoot a short film? Yeah, you dumb fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what we're supposed to do. You're not supposed to make fun of, because what they're saying, here's what they're saying. I think when stand-ups make fun of it, I think a lot of times, not always, it's bad stand-ups, because what you're supposed, if you're going to not do podcasting because a lot of people do them, then why the fuck are you doing stand-up? Stop doing that. That's been around for a long time.
Well, I've noticed a change just recently. There was a guy who wrote an article in the New York Times about how podcasting is the new stand-up. And he was saying that you go to stand-up because you want to hear the truth. You want to hear unadulterated people, just giving their opinion with no political correctness, taking the gloves off, going. And podcasting is even more of that, because when we do stand-up, we do bits. But when we do podcasting, it's just raw.
It is. Not only do I like doing it, but I'm still at the point where I love what we're doing now, talking about it, because it's still fun for me. But my brother said it once so simply. He goes, really, if you think about it, podcasting is just giving radio the purity of stand-up. So he sort of said it indirectly.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But the problem I see with it, it actually could kill stand-up, because when I'm doing stand-up now and the podcast fans come out, they don't want to hear a bit. They know everything about the past and every bit, so they want... Give me more of you. Like, I'll get on stage and, where's Jason? What's he doing right now? Right now, I don't fucking know.
That just made me start sweating. Is there any way?
We don't need it on.
Bad.
We don't need it on.
Don't be mad at me. I'm just like, if you came over, I started sweating like instantly. It's like, it's funny you say that about because I love.
Lily, why when you bent over and I saw your G-string, did I see a cigarette burned?
With little makeup on it. But I'm about to agree with you, even though it seems like I'm going the other way. I fucking love stand-up. After many, many years of doing it, I still eat it up. But since I've been doing the podcast for a year now, I said this, I go, I could see them at least merging. Like, come out, maybe I'll do 15, 20 minutes of stand-up. Because I agree. Like, I've only done 3 live ones. And let me tell you something. The crowd that comes out to see you, it's just awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah, because they're so fanatical and they know everything. But I'm like a purist in stand-up. I like comics that talk about real shit. But I worked. I just got back from Australia this morning, and I did a show down there. I hosted their Green Faces. It's like their competition for their best young comedians. Mm-hmm. And I hate doing the show because it's like they're like right up from open micer. But some of them are actually been around like 5 years and they're really good. And I had to do this show and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to hang out with comics, new comics, the whole time. But they were all like really cool guys, and one chick, and they were really fun and I had a good time. And one of them did one-liners, and and I haven't seen like a good one-liner comedian. And he did 10 minutes of straight, like almost like Mitch Hedberg kind of, or Dimitri, one line, boom, boom. And they were all fucking awesome.
Oh, good.
And that art is almost gotten lost. Like the one,
Yeah,
because people always go, "Hey, how long can you watch it for? It gets boring after a while." And I'm like, no, it doesn't, because the jokes, if they're all fucking great, I could watch hours of it.
I'm with you. I love, because you see, it's like saying, obviously there's guys that do bad one-liners. They're the ones you can't watch for an hour. But I can't watch someone do monology for an hour if it sucks. So any bad comedy just sucks. But yeah, good old one-liners. That's why I'll do Rodney doing Mitch Hedberg sometimes just to be silly. And it works because they're just brilliant one-liners,
Well, I used to think Mitch, obviously his jokes are brilliant, but I used to think sometimes, like, if I said his one-liner, it's not like it was. Mitch is so much of his personality too, because that was the thing when people talk about him being like a one-liner comic and having no personality. I'm like, it was all personality. Like, there was so much personality to the jokes. And there was no one like him. He was so original.
Yeah, I remember, this seems weird, the first time I saw Mitch Hedberg on Letterman, I was flipping around. I just had never seen him live. I was like, you ever see that a comedian's really great? Like, how come I haven't seen him? I remember the first time I saw Zach.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this was years ago, obviously, but I'm like, Nick Schwartzen said, "Oh, he's on that. You got to go." You've never seen Zach? I go, "No." So I went down to the. I was in the Improv in the restaurant. I went down the hallway, watched him in the showroom, and I remember going, "What the fuck didn't I ever see this guy? Like, it's right up my alley. That type of humor."
It's funny when the first time I met Swartzen, somebody at Luna in New York said, "You got to go in the room and see this kid. He just moved here from Minneapolis. He's great." And I remember it was one of those times when I went, "Fuck, I got to quit the business. Like this guy, it was like a basketball player watching Kobe Bryant. I was like, this guy, oh fuck, oh no, really? This is."
Some guys get it early on. The first night I met Nick, it was literally, we had a mutual friend. We were in New York, and this should have been something you would only do with a friend after knowing him for 5 years. We went out to breakfast at like 4 a.m, and somehow the bit ended up being that I was his dad and that I wanted to eat his pancakes and he wouldn't eat them. So I was shoving them in his mouth with my hand, smashing them into his mouth. And then I go, "Do you like them?" And his character was that he had to not go, "Yeah, they're good." But to other tables, I don't know what it looked like. There wasn't screaming going on. There wasn't yelling. It was very, I was a dad, but I was very angry at him. I'm like, "You're going to eat these pancakes," and I'm like taking my hand and putting them into his
that
face.
shows you the difference of our senses of humor. Like that, to me, that's hysterical. I would never come up with something like that. I remember like one time going out with a bunch of comics and for a diner at like 4 a.m, and we left, and I was with Artie Fuqua, who's black. I don't know if you know Artie. He hosts the Comedy Cellar all the time in New York. He's a black comic, and we leave the diner, and there's this homeless guy asking me for money, and I said no, and he started screaming at me. And he's a black homeless guy, and I'm going, "Oh fuck you," and the guy's like, "Fuck you," and he's running across the street, still yelling at me. The homeless guy's like, "I'll fucking kill you, you fucking blah blah blah," and Artie goes to me, "Call him a nigger," and I go, "No." He goes, "Do it," and I go, "No fucking way am I doing." He goes, "Do it, it'll be funny," and I'm like, "No." So the guy's yelling at me, and all of a sudden I go, "Nigger," and the guy, he turned into the Tasmanian devil. Like he spun around like 6 times. And then Artie goes, do it again. It's hysterical." And I'm like,
But Artie's black.
Yeah. And Artie thinks this is the funniest thing he's ever seen in his life. So I do it again. And there was something like the second time I was like, "Well, it's okay." So I'm now screaming it. And Artie's like, then he goes, "We got to run. We got to go. People heard us." So we run down the street.
Doesn't the guy get
he didn't come at me, but he was like losing his mind. So we leave. So the next night I walk into the Comedy Cellar, and you know where all the comics sit at the table. This particular night, I'm not kidding. Something weird about it. There were no white comics at the table. It was all black comics. And I walk in, and Artie just points at me and goes, "Oh, you got to hear what Eddie did last night," and tells them all. And they're all staring at me like not finding it funny at all. And I'm looking at Artie like, why would you? And I'm about to cry because I think I'm.
Well, don't you say he told me to? Well, not
so
that
I
you would
said,
have to do it.
I said, hold on. Let me tell you the story. And any other comic would have gotten me in trouble, but Artie, no one trusts. So they just went, "Artie, you fucking asshole." Like, cause it's just a typical trick that Artie would do, that they're all like, "You're a fucking idiot, Artie." But at first they all looked at me like, "Really? You did that?" And I was like, I never
should have said, "Yeah, I did do it."
Yeah, I only say that when
I like pictures like she's taken high up. I always look better.
She's a good photographer.
Thank you.
Lily does a very good job. You can see all her photos at JimandEddieTalkShit.com.
The dog's just licking her.
Yeah, well, there's probably something there to lick. Harlow likes jizz and cigarette burns.
When I was in who would ever think I'd say speaking of jizz, but when I was worked at a Dairy Queen, it's the only job I ever had. There was a girl, and me and my friend Dale. Keep in mind this was a long time ago, so I probably have the story 90%. He goes, whatever the reason, Dale goes, "Hey, Maria, ask that guy if he wants jism in his milkshake." So she smelled that there was something wrong with it. She had probably heard the word, but not enough. And she goes, "No." He goes, "Maria, ask him." Like he knew how to sell it. And she, I swear to God, turns to the guy and goes, "Do you want jism in your milkshake?" And it's like one of those times you just fall to the ground laughing, punching everybody. So she got mad at me and Dale for laughing so hard that she spread a rumor. She had to be 15, I had to be 16, that I got caught masturbating in the bathroom.
Which at the time is the worst thing you can say about a guy.
Thank you.
Totally.
That's where I'm going with it. Outwardly, I went, outwardly I went to her, oh, you got me, everybody does it. Like I tried to put on a face of like, that's what you're gonna do, but I wished I would have never fucking did that to her because I was mortified.
Yeah, it was
Isn't
awful.
that funny that you remember?
When you were, there was a trick when I learned what masturbation was. These guys maybe play a joke. They like sit down in a chair and they're like, okay, mime this thing. There's like a rabbit on the ground. You grab the rabbit. You put the rabbit on your lap. Now you start stabbing the rabbit. And I'm stabbing the rabbit, and all the guys went, ah, he's jerking off. And I was so embarrassed of that.
It's such a personal thing, probably, that you don't want to. But I remember being mortified around the mall. Everyone, like, that became the joke, and I always had to do the same thing. I always had to go, oh, ooh, that's really uncomfortable.
But meanwhile, you were.
Oh, I hated.
But here's my thing. I think because there's so much comedy and uncensored comedy, and young kids have such access to it, I don't think they give a shit anymore.
Nah.
I think they're like us. Like, yeah, I jerked off 6 times today.
No, kids. I mean, obviously, but I think it's a good thing. I'm not one of those people that says it's a bad thing. My brother's a teacher, and I went into for career day. This has to do with what we're talking about. And I took some stuff and edited it so he could show them what I do, but a clean version of it. You know, like and
Mine would be me waving goodnight.
yeah. Well, believe me, it was more stuff than I realized. I'm like, ooh, there goes.
Probably not, because I wouldn't have my pants on. It would be me going, hello.
Blurred. And then all of a sudden they come back, they go to their computers, and they come up, they go, we just saw this. They like, I go, don't you block there? He goes, yeah, you should, but sometimes you don't.
They find ways
around it. But they came up and they knew the bits they were talking about. The one goes, hey, they're all gathered around the back of the room.
What year are these kids?
This was 2 years ago.
No, I'm saying what age are the kids?
Oh, these kids are in, I think, 6th grade.
So they're like 11.
Yeah,
most.
Just my type.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I get that? Can I get that gig?
Career day. It was fun.
Yeah, I won't do anything like that. They asked me to come into my high school. I'm like, it's just a bad idea. You don't want me there.
I was nervous a little bit. I did that one other time for my friend Andrew, who teaches over here in Los Angeles in a not great area, but it was, the kids are adorable, and it was so funny. I got to one classroom. My friend's he's an architect, so he was there before me. And he was actually pretty clever. I go, what are you going to talk to 6th graders about an architect? So up on the chalkboard, he said, how would we redesign your school? How would you like it? And this is what an architect does. They were like, we should put the lunchroom there.
That's exactly how you have to talk to Jason. You can't pick on him. You can't be. You just have to say things like, should the United States keep up the space program, Jason?
No.
Why not?
Because they need to fix the shit down here first.
Why?
Because it's fucked up.
Do you think Neil Armstrong really walked on the moon?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I used to work with a dude. His grandpa worked on that program.
And what did he tell you?
That it's legit.
You know, the thing is, I'm apprehensive to. I'm like, I know. I will be positive for a second. I know that I'm not a stupid person. I know that I'm socially very aware, and I'm a forward thinker. But because I didn't do very well in school, half the time on Stern when they would ask those strippers the questions, I never knew the answers.
Yeah.
So I was always like,
but it's also hard being put on the spot like that, because there's so much pressure. Your mind, like when you're doing stand up and there's pressure, all of a sudden you can't remember your bits. And think how it is to be on Howard Stern, millions of people listening, and they're asking you something about Paul Revere's great ride. Where did it go from? And you're like, you know it, but you don't want to you're like, what if I get this wrong?
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm not embarrassed because I know it has nothing to do. Almost interested. I was on a
more
radio show.
More interesting, there was a black guy that did the ride with him. I think his name was Crispus Attucks, if I'm correct. And you never fucking hear about him. Like that's how racist our history is. Paul Revere went one way and Crispus Attucks went another, and I think Crispus Attucks went through the bad neighborhood.
The dog is licking my neck. Oh, he's very bad. He got
she stop.
I'm sorry. Oh God! Whenever I'm home, my mom, she always corrects me. For some reason, I always get the dog sexes mixed up, and I go, oh, he's so cute. She goes, she. I go, oh, it doesn't matter.
No,
Yeah.
but it changes her cuteness.
Dog owners get upset about that.
Yeah.
It changes her cuteness. She's a good dog.
You know what you do if I learned a little trick. If a dog, if someone doesn't, they can't hate dogs to have this work, but if maybe they're on the fence, you tell them if your dog goes near them, you go, oh my God, he doesn't usually go near people. He's petrified. And they're like, oh, really?
I wanted to bring up something that you said before. I've never told my first meeting with Mitch Hedberg. First time, you know John Bush? Do you know comedian John Bush out of New York?
I think so, yeah.
He lives in like Minneapolis now. He does some play all the time, and he's one of the funniest guys. Like Nick Swartz and like they were friends together in Minneapolis. Really funny guy. But I was at a bar across the street from the comic strip, and we went over and we went to play darts, and Mitch came with us. And he's like, Eddie, this is Mitch. He's a really funny guy. He's from Minneapolis, and he was like, yeah, he's just a funny guy. And I looked down, and he's got on tree torns. Do you remember tree torns?
Yes.
Tennis shoes.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, this is probably 15 years ago, but still at that point, who the fuck wore tree torns? Like, it was just such a random shoe to wear.
And when is this? Like, what year is this?
This is probably like 1998, 99 maybe. And I look at him, I go, who the fuck wears tree torns? And Mitch is like, yeah, they're cool, man. And then I saw him on stage that night, and he bombed really badly. But you saw how funny he was, and the audience like hated him because they just wanted like somebody who was going to sing and dance across the stage and do rap songs and whatever it was. And they hated Mitch. And then Mitch goes, well, thank you, everybody. I will be going now. And the audience started clapping, and he goes, no, stop. Stick to your guns. You did not like me.
That's a good...
and that's when I was like, this guy is hysterical.
You know what? I heard a line that... it's probably a famous line. Look, I'm like Jason now, repeating things I heard. But Bob Dylan, somebody heckled him, said, you suck. And he looked at them and went, I don't believe you. And I thought, that is what should be... between that night hearing that comment, and then we asked... I had a sleepover on my podcast, which, by the way, was everything I thought it would be. It was...
Someone get pregnant?
It was infectious. Well, anyway, before I get to that, so Cheech, Tommy Chong,
that's hysterical.
Tommy Chong stopped by, and because he has the same person that does like his online stuff as me, and he said casually the day before, he goes, "Yeah, Todd's having a sleepover for a podcast." He goes, "Oh, you think they would care if I stopped by?" I'm like, "Of course, I would love that." And we asked him if he goes on. Just curious. I don't know how it came up. Daniel Kino asked him, "Do you ever go on and check your the Twitter, the negative things and stuff like that?" He goes, not in a cocky way, just in a he goes, "Oh no, I'm too busy to do that." And I thought, you know what? Good. That should teach me a lesson. That and between, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Is like, and by the way, I'll still look at some comments on Twitter.
The best part about it is you can write it, but I can block you. And I love the block.
When I figured out how to block people, when I started Twittering, I started from the beginning. Again, with that, I'm never going to be one of those people that decide. You know who's embarrassing? The people that fight it to the last minute. You're the ones that look pathetic. People are like, it's Twitter, it's stupid, podcasting, and then you do it. You know what you look like? You look like a fucking idiot. You look like you had to wait. You made fun of it until you just finally you did it. That looks pathetic.
And
but
then,
when it comes
and then they're going, how's this thing work?
Yeah, right. And I'm not saying if you do it later, it looks pathetic. No, if you never said anything bad about it, and maybe you do it 10 years later, that doesn't look sad. But if you publicly went, oh, it's stupid to the max, and then you do it, yeah, that you may as well, once you make fun of it for a year straight, maybe you should just fucking go to your death and never do it.
But I don't understand.
I know you could say, by the way, here's how paranoid I am. You could say, well, what, they finally figured it out. Maybe it's not if it's one thing. Maybe if it's everything. Maybe if it's, when Twitter comes along, they make fun of it. When camera equipment got affordable, they made fun of it. When podcasting, like anything new, they make fun of,
Like Pinterest? How's your Pinterest
What's
page
that?
going?
God, I'm sweating up a storm.
Pinterest is, it's like a thing that do you have a page, Lily? No. I think my girlfriend has one. They post like things that they like and like pictures of them. And it's like I wouldn't even.
It's a massive show and tell.
Yeah, it's a massive show and tell, and women do it a lot, and it's very like I don't know. It's fucking.
I like when people say
it's like a wish list of things you like or inspired by or want.
Do you have cigarette burns on it?
I have cigarette burns,
Somebody
heroin
said
needles.
on their dream board they
condoms.
put a picture of an oven. I saw it on some show, and then later
Hope
they
they weren't
bought that
Jewish.
oven.
Oh.
I'm like, well, you could have done that without the dream board. Like, how did that? To me, the dream board only works is if someone knocked on your door and said, "Hey, do you want this oven?" You're like, "Shut the fuck up." But if I like go on my dream board, I put a picture of a bike, and then 3 months later I buy a bike. That's nothing to do with the dream board.
Jason, did you put a picture of a seat for your bike on your dream board? He went 6 months without a seat on his bike.
You had to stand and ride.
Yeah.
He still doesn't have one.
No, he has one.
I got a seat on it now.
He doesn't use it though. The other day I got a beer with him and he like rides up without the seat. I was like, dude, you still don't have a seat? He's like, no, I have it. I take it off every night. And I didn't feel like putting it on.
Ask him why he doesn't use the seat.
Because it gets stolen.
No, but why else?
Oh, it's like doing spin class all the time. You're always on your feet. It's good workout.
It's good for his core, he told me.
And your prostate, because you're not sitting on your bunch all the time, cutting the blood
You know
off.
what I think?
Or it's just you're poor and you can't buy one.
Sometimes I fall in love with simplicity. So there's something about him, which I had a feeling as soon as I came in, I think I might end up really like. Let me give you an example. Like to me, like I think Brian Regan once said, or maybe again, it's a famous quote. Maybe we're exactly the same. We repeat all the stuff. We don't do any fact checking. Now I'm paranoid. Like I think Brian Regan said it, but I don't really know. Those who are happy win, so it's like, if you're happy, you win. If you're happy, you won. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're happy, you're winning.
He's a very complex individual. He's not. You cry yourself to sleep a lot, huh?
Not anymore.
But he admits it.
Well, I went through
That's a good thing.
2 years of dark shit.
And it's over?
I think it's coming.
Well, you have a job now.
No, not really.
Oh, so back to those who are happy win.
Wait, this is important.
Oh, wait,
This
what
is
happened?
important. Wait, he
You had a job and
he
now you
never
don't?
has a job, and finally he got a job. I was in Australia and I talked to him and I said, "How's it going?" He goes, "I got a job," and he was really desperate looking for a job, and he found a job. And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm the director of deliveries for Santino's restaurant." I go, "So you're a delivery guy?" "No, I'm the managing director." He had to like give a title for it, which he always has to.
Yeah.
And
He goes, "Yeah."
And then I asked him. He walks my dogs a lot for me, and I asked him while I was gone. 'cause
I'm
my
the
girl-
director of that too.
Hey, but you must think he's responsible because you love those dogs and you trust them with him.
I do weirdly because he's like. I've seen him like rolling on the ground with him. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Establishing the pack."
I saw
Let
it
me
on.
ask you this: if you won seriously, I'm just curious. If you won, it's one of those hypothetical questions. You win $5 million lottery. What would you do? What would be your mission after you won it?
That money be gone in a week.
Would it be? Okay, let's say that's what would happen because you didn't follow your dream. But first, let's go to what do you think you would want to do with it?
I really like doing music.
So you would try to have a musical career, or
Yeah,
would you build a studio?
Sure.
Yeah, but
Something like that.
what would you do?
What would I do?
You got $5 million. What are you doing?
Well, I'd get a place to live
Okay.
first.
This dog is so cute. It's like
Are you talking about Jason?
when he goes in for the kiss, he doesn't fuck around. He stares at you, and you're like, "Oh!" And then all of a sudden, he just goes,
Lunge.
He's like, "This is the rape couch."
On
that dog, the dog is raping me.
We've got another podcast, and we had this dude on who was a Navy SEAL, 20-year Navy SEAL, and I saw her looking at him, and I knew she was going for the lunge, and I went to stop her, and she just, before I could, she fucking bit him right in the nose, and all I could picture was this Navy SEAL just turning her head and just like seeing her dead on the floor.
A strong little fuck.
Yeah.
Well, she's
Like
part
when he
pit bull.
comes at you, he really pushes.
She
on
can
you.
jump like shoulder height too. She's crazy.
She can't jump shoulder height.
I had my
unless
arm out.
unless you're Brad Williams.
I had my arm out, straight out, with a ball in my hand, and she jumped up and bit my finger through the skin, and it was bleeding. And it was this. I mean, it was like shoulder height. I was throwing it for the dogs,
Yeah.
and that was
Can we hear how you lost your job?
I.
You lost your what?
I upset the balance of the organization.
Wait, fill me in. What happened?
I gained 20 pounds.
He upset the balance of the organization at where he was managing director of delivery.
Delivery service. Oh, that's how you lost your job.
It's a pizza shop.
Right. And then how did you lose your job?
Well, I got into an argument with a dishwasher level employee that had a lot more pull in the back end of the
Had a lot more pull than
organization
the
than
directors of delivery,
Yeah,
or
and
whatever
he-
you call it.
and
He was a director of dishwashing, by the way.
It was
there's interdepartmental conflicts.
Why not?
in the hierarchy. He was like,
Yeah.
where was he? Was he above you or below
Well, he's
you?
way above me, I guess, because I found that out.
And what was your argument with him about?
I was trying to get him to do delivery driving.
Jason, you can't get a guy from human resources to do
I know that now.
to do accounting.
What do you
Well-
eat every day? I'm just curious.
Today-
like you eat the same thing a
Today I
lot?
had fried chicken and Bud Light.
And then what do? You eat breakfast?
No, I just drank like 3 giant cups of coffee.
Where were you, in Compton?
No, I went to Rouse, sold my guitar, bought some beer and chicken.
Can I tell you 2 delicious high foods? I did this by accident once. You mentioned chicken. I didn't think I was going to lie to everybody about it, but it was so good that then I felt bad. I got Kentucky Fried Chicken. Look, forget about whether it's. I know this seems like a weird thing to say, but forget about like whether it's good or bad for you. Just the taste. You know?
It tastes great.
Yeah, if you went to a place that was known for their fried chicken and they served you Kentucky Fried, you would think it was unfucking believable.
Yeah.
So I got Kentucky Fried Chicken and I put it on the barbecue. Now it's already cooked. You don't gotta go. Is it done? Is it done? And I poured some barbecue sauce over it. It was unfucking believable. And
You said people would. Kentucky Fried Chicken does taste unbelievable, but it gave me a bacterial infection in high school where I was in bed for 2 weeks, like wanting to die because I was pissing out my asshole for 2 weeks straight, like could not keep food in. And they told me I had to go to the doctor, and they made me shit in a bowl. I had to shit in a bowl and hand. Do you know how humiliating it is to shit in a bowl and hand it to a nurse? I was like, couldn't you just get a guy in with a Harley jacket on, and I'll feel better about this? Hannah, hey, here's a bucket of shit.
A bowl of shit.
Then some pretty nurse coming in, and I'm like, hi. Here's my gravy.
that moment in the bathroom.
This green slime that just came out of my asshole. So they test it, and the doctor goes, I get it. They come back and they're like, you have a bacterial infection. It's from eating venison. And I go, I've never eaten venison in my life. So they go through my whole diet, and he goes, must be that KFC. So it was like some kind of chicken nuggets at KFC.
There's some deer chunks.
Yeah, that had
No.
yes, because I had a bacterial infection. And they found the same bacterial infection in 2 people, and so then
I like how I say no.
so then they
Not
give,
KFC.
They give me some antibiotic, and I'm better in like a day. I was like, oh my God, that's the most amazing thing, how that cured it. 2 days later, the doctor calls again. He goes, we gave you the wrong antibiotic. You're going to have to come in to get another antibiotic. As soon as he said that, it came back. Like the second he said it, I was like, ah! And it was the worst 2 weeks of my life. Like I wanted to die.
Okay, how about this? Maybe let's say you went and bought some good organic chicken, which
Yes.
I try to do that as much as I can. Go to Whole Foods.
Sure.
A little expensive, to be honest. And you got the recipe of the Kentucky Fried Chicken, whatever the spices and the herbs and
That's a
whatever they
secret,
do to
dude.
it, and then you do that
Yes.
to organic chicken.
They will never give up that recipe.
No, they won't do that.
Never.
But I'm saying if I could do that, I
They
would.
won't give up the recipe. I mean,
Oh, they won't give up the recipe,
Like
no.
Julian Assange leaked like the greatest secrets of the United States government. How has no one leaked?
But you realize
the
that you have to
KFC
have
recipe?
like a full lab to create that recipe. Like
Well, wait
that's
a
what
second.
they do.
Do you really think? I mean, I don't know the answer to this. Do you really think? Always thought it was like a secret recipe was the joke, or maybe that's the sauce.
No,
or
I think it
something.
is a secret recipe.
You don't. Someone has to have it. It's
wanna-
told other people.
You know what's great about podcasting? Someone will email it to us.
Yeah. Hey, want to hear something else great about podcasting? On a podcast, for some reason I thought of an old address that I used to live at. And I said, hey, someone's got to live in Southampton. Go by there, 1295 Joan Drive. And I could use more pictures of it. And
Southampton, where?
Southampton, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania.
It was in like near Churchville, like Warminster, Southampton.
Right.
Churchville was the specific county. And the next day, I
a
got
picture.
people tweeted me pictures of the house. It was nostalgic. I was like zooming in, going, God damn it! Like that's the tree my dad planted.
We didn't even mention where Jason's parents lived in Tennessee, and the fans found his house.
They're sending pictures.
It's great.
It's kind of scary.
He
though.
does shit. We flew him home because his mom has cancer. And how is your mom, by the way?
She's all right.
Where does she live?
She lives in Johnson City.
So we sent him home, and he made a vacation out of it. And he didn't have a way to get from Charlotte, where we flew him to Johnson City, Tennessee. So he was twittering with fans, getting them to pick him up and drive him.
Let me tell you something. I love it. And you know what that could be? What if you did a podcast where you hitchhiked across America?
That's
and
what we're
fans-
doing right now. That's your next thing. You are doing
Yes.
that. We're sending you across the country. We will meet you on the other side and do a live show.
Can I take
But
him
we're
the
gonna have
first?
fans-
Hold on. Can I take him the first distance as far as I'll take him?
Yes.
Like, I don't know how far I'll take him. It could be a block. It could be 2 blocks. But please don't forget me. I mean, I might take you 5 hours. I don't know. It depends what mood I'm in. But I will take you. And then from there, and I think you should get a little bit of money,
This
too,
is
to
the
be honest.
best idea ever. Oh, because there are so many fans that want to meet him.
Yes.
And go out. We're going to have you drive across the country with fans, and then you're going to interview them.
Stay at their house.
We'll do a whole episode on. You're going to stay at their
Yes.
houses.
I need equipment. And a good
I love he
backpack.
doesn't even argue. He goes, well, I'm going to need equipment. Look,
All
we're
right.
going to do this.
So fans, start writing in
Here's
now.
what-
Start twittering. Start emailing. We will post this on the page. We'll create a project on the website. We want you guys. We're going to have a detailed. You're going to have pickup points and drop off points, and he's going to be twittering all along the way, and who's picking him up, and we're going to get you from L.A. to New York City.
He loves this. I can see it
This
in
is a
his
good
face.
idea. Actually, I have a friend that just pitched this kind of thing to Ford with like internet people, like this idea.
Internet people.
Let me ask this. Hold on.
That's what we are, Eddie. We're internet people.
Yeah, that's what I
First
am.
of all, for equipment,
I'm the director,
for
managing
equipment,
director
you
of
don't-
Internet People.
Sorry.
So-
That's
sorry.
the
That's
advantage of wearing headsets. Well, I could hear you here too.
I just noticed you're not wearing a headphone.
I was sweating a little too
hot.
much,
Oh.
but I want to go back to this. For equipment, you wouldn't need much. You could use a phone, an iPhone.
Right.
I've done amazing things on my iPhone when I haven't had anything else around. But at most, you get one of those.
Except find yourself to our house.
Yeah, Jesus. I'm not good at the map questing. By the way, when you go into towns and you do radio, of course you do, and they use not a navigational system.
Tough dog.
Not a
Here comes
navigational
Farside.
system.
Farside. Let me just sorry to interrupt you. I know he's coming in
That's
right
all
now.
right.
Farside, who is our intern, who used to be, I think he was your intern first.
Oh, sensitive?
Yes, you call him sensitive.
Yeah.
We call him Farside. Well, now he works for Jay Moore,
Yeah, I know.
and Jay pays him a lot. So he is late to our show tonight because he was at Jay Moore's show.
Oh.
But I've got to tell him, there were fans. I just did a show in Brisbane, Australia, and these fans afterwards were buying me drinks, and all they wanted to talk about, they're pissed off at Farside. They like Jason. They're mad at
Why?
Farside because they said
He's posturing himself in the podcast world, man.
Yes, that's
doing
what they
what?
said.
He's just climbing the podcast ranks.
I was jealous when I found that he was. I forgot. By the way, I forgot completely.
Our whole plan was to sabotage him.
Yeah, I shouldn't tell you this because then maybe because it doesn't matter. He's a good soul.
Oh, he's a great guy.
He's a good soul. But I always tease him. I go, oh, you'll. When he started coming over here, I'm like, you motherfucker, you're cheating on us.
And now he's doing it with Jay.
Yeah.
And
Is Jay nice to him?
All because of the cock taco.
yeah, because he
was the-
showed Jay's penis. Like we always make him pull his cock out on the show, and he showed. He has. You don't know about the tattoo, do you?
I know he has tattoos.
Oh, we'll show you one.
Does he have? I heard he has a tattoo of a bigger penis on his small penis. He tried. Said he told me he did. I don't know if that's possible though. He goes, no, it looks folded now.
You
so
don't
it
know
looks like
about
it's
the
folded
tattoo?
underneath.
No, Todd doesn't know about
Oh
the
my
tattoo.
God, he
This is going to
doesn't
be
know.
great. This is
I
gonna
love
be
this
great.
dog. So the thing, because at first you could say, you get him an old van
Home by
and you let
Christmas.
him drive across country.
No, it's more fun to have the fans pick him up.
Absolutely, and you're up for it. What would
Sure,
you do?
why
Have like a
not?
backpack?
I'll probably do a lot of drugs.
Well,
Because
that's
they're all
good.
going to have
You're off
drugs,
to a
I'd
good
imagine.
start. What could go wrong?
Ford's really into that.
Jesse just shut up.
Yeah, why
Ford,
wouldn't Ford
focus.
sponsor it? Get a guy drugged up and send him across country.
The
Now,
only,
this is a great idea.
why don't you look for a better sponsor like Doritos or Ben and Jerry's or something that would
or
Fanta.
pot?
Yeah. or Volkswagen, or a car company that doesn't exist any longer.
Would the fans get to punch you in every city?
No, I don't want to get hurt. Jesse, that's terrible. Come on.
You are going to get punched a few times. Speaking of punching, I saw Mike White in Melbourne, Australia, and I'll tell you a story.
I want to go the first distance because I'm thinking I want to sleep over a few people's houses with you.
Todd's just going to go the whole way with me.
I'm like, all right, we'll go to Fresno.
I was supposed to take him to Bakersfield, and then the next thing I know, New York.
I just want to go over. Oh, so the sleepover, it started camping. We did have a fire pit.
He just looked at me and goes, "That's a good idea." There was an episode where Farside got really upset and started crying on the show. And he was really upset at Jason.
Was he really crying?
Yeah, because Jason had left the show, and Jason came back, and Jason just like walked in like it was no big deal. He quit the show for like 5 episodes, and Farside was really upset, and we were all like, "Should we air the show?" And it's all going on, and Jason's talking to him, and they're going back and forth, and Farside like stormed out of the room, and Jason looks at me. He was being very sincere to Farside, but he looks at me and he goes, "This makes great radio."
See, this guy's smart. He's right. He knows.
Stop building him up.
Wait, where is
You don't understand when he gets the ego, he gets cocky, and then he ruins it.
Don't get cocky because then it'll ruin your magic.
I'm not gonna
I'm just
get
telling you, but now forget it.
Can't
Is
wait to
Farside
put you in fucking strangers' cars.
What about the Duke, though? He's got to go with me, right?
who?
My dog.
That's going to be hard to be.
Yeah,
honest.
that's
I don't know
gonna
why
be
I'm
really
directing it all this side. I just see that because people, you're going to limit what if someone's can't have a dog in their home? Is there
Todd,
anybody
just
to watch
remember,
your
this
dog?
is a guy who got fired from a pizza shop from arguing with the dishwasher.
Yeah. And by the way, he was what was his title there? Let's not forget that.
Director of deliveries.
Director of deliveries.
Yeah.
Could you get anybody to watch your dog?
I might be able to.
Don't you think that'd be easier?
Yeah. Well, the last
Realistically?
time I let someone,
We'll get our fans to donate. We'll just have Duke put to sleep. So if you
By
want
the way, speaking of putting a dog to sleep, I would never do this, obviously, but I thought it'd be funny. You bring the healthiest dog in the world to test the morals of a vet and say, yeah, he's just not, he's not, it's time. And the vet, like he's jumping around, he jumps up on the table. And then eventually the vet, if the vet did have, like some morals, he would go, he looks all right, and you go, no. And then finally the vet goes, I got to be honest with good conscience. I don't, he does seem all right. And you go, he used to talk.
Hey, all right, we're gonna keep Todd for another episode. So you just listen to the next one. It'll be even better than this one. And I know it because we cut them in half. So I know it is better. It's a better one. I can honestly say that. I'm not putting Todd down. I'm just saying that he took a while to build up, and then he got much better. He was good, but he got better. He was okay, and then he got good. Well, whatever. Anyways, listen to the next episode. It'll be on Thursday. This is Tuesday. Also, buy your tickets now if you're in Wilmington, North Carolina. If you're a shithead and you live anywhere around there, you want to see Todd Glass, one of the funniest live acts I've ever seen in my life. September 7th and 8th at the Nut Street Comedy Club in Wilmington, North Carolina. Also, check Jim and I out. Check out our website, jimandeddytalkshit.com, where that's where everything is that you need. You can buy old episodes. You can. Does the forum going yet, guys? No. You can see all the pictures that Lalit takes, and you can buy packages, posters, TVs. You can buy TVs, stereos, 8-track players, cast iron skillets. We got all kinds of shit for sale. No, go to Western Union. Just go through Western Union on our website. Do that. That's how we make money for the show. And that's it. Thanks for listening. And September 7th and 8th, I'll be at the Ice House in Pasadena. Goodbye.